Okay, we are here for Sandy's Bash Blog 2 podcast on the 2nd of the 5th, 2018. And if you don't know who I am, I'm the guy with the funny haircut. But it's not about me. As I said, it's about two fantastic people we've brought in for you today. And our first special guest we have today is Tyler Hurian, aged 9. Tyler, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Right, okay, so the reason why we brought you in today is because you're a bit special, aren't you, in the fact that you've got an amazing amount of talent.
Yes, I am.
So you don't lack confidence. Tyler, you are age 9, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, how old was you when you started martial arts?
I was 3 years old.
3? Wow, that's very young to start, isn't it? And so I believe you've got your dad here with you. So we'll welcome your dad first of all. Peter, okay, good morning.
How do, Bolton? How are you?
I'm great, mate. Good to have you here.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
So let's just go through a couple of things. Right, I'm going to speak to your dad first of all, Tyler. You had to find out a little bit about what, where, when and how. So Peter, you was born in?
I was born in Burnley, Lancashire, 1984.
Lancashire, lad. Good
yes.
Man, come on.
Oosh.
Oosh. Yeah, sorry, so you were born in 84, yeah?
Yeah, I was into martial arts ever since I was a little kid. I was from the era of Never Back Down and all that kind of film, so it just pushed me back in. You have to get involved after watching them, don't you?
Of course you do. I think it was I think that was Bruce Lee for me, but you know, there's different times, different eras. But yeah, we've all got our heroes, haven't we? So yeah, go to tell us a little bit about yourself then. So you've 84. You was born in Burnley.
Yeah.
And I believe you moved to Weymouth in what year was that?
I think it was about
2006.
Yeah, about
something?
2006,
Yeah.
2007. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I did most of my martial arts up north. I just loved all genres, all disciplines of martial arts. Where I just like to try and everything new. But yeah, down south it's mainly on the K1 scene and things like that. But now I got back into it mainly for Tyler. I can't really not help it. The kid's a talent, and he's got a hell of a future ahead of him, ain't you, little man?
Yeah.
Well, obviously that's why Tyler's here today. So Tyler, you've had approximately, you were telling me just before we went live, 28 fights.
I have.
And you're only aged 9.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And you've only had 4 losses and 24 wins. That's an incredible record at your age, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Some people only start at 9. You know, I mean, I didn't start martial arts till I was 15, so you've got a way head start of people like me. So, how many titles have you won?
Roughly about 7.
Right. Wow. And can you tell me about any of those titles? What are they? Are they like area titles, English, British? What can you remember any of what you've got?
I've got the world's, the 2 British, I think, 2 British, 1 English, and then I've got European in K1.
Wow, that's spectacular. So you fight in K1 and Thai boxing. You do too.
Yeah.
Disciplines. That's brilliant. Wow. I'm in awe. I think your dad's got he sent me a photograph. Have you got that picture there?
Yeah,
Can we
of course.
just show it to the viewers? This is really special. I mean, you know, he's 9 years of age, and he's got. Let's have a quick look. Zoom into that. Josh, our tech guy. Can we just borrow that, please, guys? Just show everybody on here. Look at this. How special is that? That's absolutely. I've just pressed the button now, so there. Let's get him back again. There we go. Sorry. Look at that. You can't see him for belts.
He also got inducted into the Hall of Fame at just 8-year-old, didn't you? Which is there's only a few of them in it. I think it's gone now, but yeah, that was a massive achievement.
Wow. Now you haven't got your funky haircut here, Tyler. So can we get the camera? Just zoom into Tyler's haircut, please. Tyler, just show us both sides, the front, the back, and everything else. Look at this. Is that just the best haircut ever? Yeah, that is mint. As soon as I saw him this morning, I thought, yes. Fantastic. So, Tyler, I asked you about school a little bit as well. I believe you've won the Sport Award for how many years?
3 years in a row.
3 years in a row. That is absolute. And which school do you go to?
I go to Woodthorpe School in Sheffield.
In Sheffield, right. Wow. So, what's your favourite subject at school?
Art really, and science.
Art and science, all right. See, so brains and brawn, eh? Correct. I was going to ask you to get your biceps out, but you've got a long sleeve. You know, I was going to go like, get the guns out and all that stuff. But obviously, okay, you don't need to, do you? Because they're probably bigger than mine. Right. So can I just talk to your dad for a second? What got you into martial arts?
You? I'm not even joking. When I was a young lad, obviously I was around Lancashire scene and things like that. So I used to go to a lot of seminars with Master Skin and things like that. Like
my teacher,
yeah. Like you saying earlier, I remember you sat on top of a big guy's shoulders while he kicked a samurai sword with his apple on it, and that got me hooked. I didn't really. The Muay Thai scene, it weren't really there until I seen that. It just opened my eyes, and then obviously it was that kind of age within where Master Toddy was around and things like that
Master
before.
Woody, Master Toddy, Master
Master
Woody. Thai masters really. That was
exactly, and he just excelled the sport in the UK. Well, they did at that time. They like showed us a different meaning of it. A lot of it was mainly fight series, but as it come through, the Baron side of it and all that started to come in, and the culture, and it just got me hooked. And then really that's what got me hooked on Thai boxing. And then moving around, I just had a feel, to go into different gyms, training with different people, different masters, learning really the game more than anything else. My passion is really in the sport for the coaching side and the cornering side. It just goes to show of all the work that you've learned over the years, and now it's that time to pass it on to obviously the next generation and the next generation of fighters. And it's just amazing at the minute in the UK, especially for the juniors or any pro or amateurs that's coming into the scene at the minute. There's just so much around for you, so much into that, man.
Well, you can see you got the same in the same ilk. Passion is the thing, is the word, isn't it? You've got a lot of passion there, and obviously it helps a lot the fact that father and son, and that's an amazing mix. It
is, but it's hard on the other side as well.
Yes, I've got to say, because that brings it pulls the heartstrings. I've seen
does.
that happen on many occasions where there's been trainers with the daughters or the sons, and in the corner they're in bits. Yeah. The father or even the mother or whatever, and you see them, they're shaking in the corner.
Oh yeah.
And because I've said this before, is you take the fighter's nerves as well.
Of course you do.
So, which is good, really.
Yeah.
You don't want the fighter to be shaking in the corner, do you? That's the last.
Oh, they're not. He walks out screaming.
Oh yeah, the coolest cucumber. Yeah.
He's known as the boy that screams. He walks out mean, and then turns around and roars, and everyone loves it. So he's got his own. He's a bit of a showman, yeah.
Oh, good man, man. That's the way.
We bring something different, don't we, T?
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I've sensed since I've met you, Tyler, and it's a pleasure meeting you, young man, is that considering you've got, like you said, he's got this thing about him where he roars like a lion, he does all this, and he's full of enthusiasm, but you're not cocky, you're not got this arrogance, and that's something, and I can say this to you, and your dad will understand, is that never get cocky or arrogant, because no one likes that. No one likes it at all. If you said to 100 people, and you say, do you like cocky arrogance, you'll get one person might agree, and 99 won't. But you've got to have confidence, and there's a thin line between confidence and arrogance. Yeah? Now, you've got confidence, and you've not got arrogance, so keep the way you are, and you'll always shine.
That's mainly down to discipline, pure discipline, and I'm so impressed with him. I don't know many 9-year-old kids that don't want to play an Xbox. I come home from work and he's there with the pads waiting for me.
Good point.
How many press-ups, sit-ups, he trains every day, every minute, and that's what it's about. And I did tell him what you said as well, Sandy, that you can't be cocky.
No.
You have to be good, and that's what makes a champion,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
well, that's
glad
the qualities that you
heart.
say, and I think it's an absolute. It's refreshing, because these days there's so many kids that the parents are just stressing out with the kids being on their Xboxes, being on the tablets. They're even the first time I heard it was about about 5 years ago. The first time I ever saw it on Facebook, where the mother was going mad at the son, saying that he actually texted her from upstairs to say, "When's my tea ready?"
I've got the same with my oldest son.
It's been going on for quite a few years. And the other one was, where they rang downstairs off the mobile to the landline to the mum to pick the phone up and say, "When's my tea ready?" Come down, you lazy little.
Yeah.
We don't swear.
Yeah.
We've got another gentleman in the room, guys, and you can't actually see him on camera. We're bringing him on in the second half. I've got a very good friend of mine called Gaz Collins. And we just touched on very much on a little bit of a subject here, which is it's a very wide span subject as well, because when I say the one word in a second, you'll understand there's lots of leads coming from that into other areas, ADHD, different things. But it's autism. And we're actually, Gaz, like I say, is in the second half of the show. We're going to be putting on a show together for the first time. Gaz will tell you about himself in a minute, but we're we've decided to do this for this cause because, like I said, there's a lot of children with problems, in school, at home, and they suffer from, different versions and forms of autism. So, like I said, I'm going to, Bob, you can just jump on, I think you can just jump on your mic there, Gaz, if you want.
Yeah, I do, Sandy.
Good morning. So, just tell us a bit about, you was in Australia, wasn't you? And
Yeah.
You put this first on called Fighting for Autism.
Yes, I was in Australia. I'd already done a few junior fight shows called Siam Cup. It was just basically junior development in Australia. It wasn't heard of, and I met up with a guy called Jamie Toseland, and he'd already done one Siam Cup, and he wanted to expand it. And he said, "What's it like in England?" So I told him what it's like for the junior scene in England, and he's like, "That's awesome. Can we get some of that?" So we helped develop Siam Cup. And I'd done 4 shows before I separated, and then worked on my own gym to build that and everything in Australia. And then, from there, we when I was doing Siam Cup, we always, because it was a junior event, we were helping Little Martyr Hospital, which was, it's the Martyr Hospital, but it's little kids with injuries and lifelong illnesses and all that. So we was always raising money for somebody. And I said to my wife one day, I said, "What can we do for somebody else?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, the Martyr Hospital's massive. It's absolutely huge. It gets money from everywhere. So what can we do for somebody else that doesn't get the money?" And she said, "Well, what about autism awareness?" I went, "What's that?" I didn't even know what it was. And she went, my nephew. I said, "Yeah." She went, "He's got it." And he's, not to say he's different than other kids, you know what I mean? And I just couldn't understand. And I just thought it was a discipline problem. But when I actually found out what autism was, I was like, wow, there's just so many different scopes of it.
Yeah.
So many different platforms, so many different scales. It's unbelievable. And ever since that, the same week, Christian Mitchell, he's the founder of Fighting for Autism, he actually emailed me the same week and said, "We'd like to support your event." This like a couple of days after my wife told me about autism. So I was speaking to him, and then our first show, we called it Fighting for Autism.
Great name.
And
Brilliant.
we just basically started raising awareness for autism in Australia then.
Cool.
So
I think, great cause, because obviously a lot of charities, everybody's aware of, cancer and, different things that people put on. It's nice to do something a little bit different. I've done I've been promoting Thai boxing shows. My first ever show was in 1984, and I've never done a show without putting something on for a charity.
Yeah.
So this time now, when we're obviously putting this show on together, it's a different thing, and it does need, like you said, I didn't know what it was 10 years ago. Yeah, I've had people what I didn't know, because there was no name for it back then. Yeah. People just said, "Oh, that child's a bit, he's a bit
naughty,
different.
yeah.
He's a bit naughty or a bit special," or whatever people labelled it, And I've probably got a dozen people in my gym with it, not just children, but adults as well with it.
Oh, yeah.
And like you said, as you said, Gaz, there's many forms of it. So it's good to make this awareness, bring it to the top, because all charities are good, as we know, but there's some, obviously every year, millions and millions and millions are given to cancer, which it deserves.
Yes.
But let's look at other people, let's look at other things. If we don't do this, then it's just going to always be brushed to the side.
Yeah. Well, what hit me most about this is how scared people are of people with autism, because they don't understand it.
Yeah. Yes.
That's the biggest thing that's reflected on it for me, because a lot of kids and adults get bullied by other people because they don't understand.
Fear causes bullies to intervene. Fear of not knowing, fear of the unknown, isn't it?
Yes.
And this brings out two sides of people. One, avoidance.
Yes.
Or two, conflict.
Yes.
And this is where people with autism suffer. And we all understand what's going on with it now, but only because we've actually done a little bit of research. And it's just about education, isn't it?
Exactly that. Yeah.
And I think doing something like this. Anyway, guys, listen, we've gone off a tangent here. Really. I thought it was the main thing. We're going to bring you in later.
Yes. Okay.
Guys, I'm going to bring it back to this young man. What we're making that connection with is we're putting a fight on, obviously, on the 26th of May at the Monaco Ballroom in Hindley. That we're looking for fighters.
Yes.
We could talk to these two, actually. You never know. But you're saying that as well, that you've got fighters.
Yeah,
So,
we've got a few at the classes that you need, especially on the junior level as well. We've got probably some of the best in the UK at the minute as well.
Brilliant.
And we've got we're in the circuit that we are pretty close as well. So I'm sure there's lots of other gyms, high-class gyms, that will jump on board.
Right.
You know you are.
Right. Let's just talk
But running
about
back to the autism thing, we've actually got involved with it as well, because my son's been diagnosed with ASD as well,
Right,
which is he's been put on
when
the
you say son,
spectrum.
there's just something you mentioned here before. Okay, I think this gentleman's no television. How many children have you got?
Six.
Six
Six children. I've got a
Six.
telly, but everything's on repeat.
So he beat
nowadays.
me there. I was just going to say, if you got a TV, he's nailed me there. Ages from what to what?
Ages from 18 months, I think it is, up to 13.
I think.
As you know, after 6, you get a bit confused. You just buy the presents when the missus asks.
There you
That's
go.
it.
You know when it's the birthdays. So yeah, somewhere up to like the age of 2 to 14, you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
And which child's got autism?
It's my how old is Jim now? 13 now, 12.
He's 12.
12. Yeah, he's 12 now. But we,
Does
like
he do
you were
martial
saying,
art? Do any of you the children? do
no,
martial
but
arts?
he did football and he went to a really high level. But because of the ASD, we understand why he just fell out of love one day, and he fell out of love with everyone. And we couldn't understand that because he was going to Manchester City and he had everything.
Wow.
But it just hit him, like really, really hit him. And it got all of us. We didn't quite understand it, like you said. But now we've got to know how it is. And it's really just the perception of how they see life. And they can't really compute with how we see life.
Yes.
So it's about finding that balance. And we've got him on a good balance now, haven't we? He's
Yeah.
back up, and yeah, it's brilliant.
Well,
And what
just-
you've done is amazing around the world. I'm not even joking. Yeah, I know
Thank you.
gyms in Scotland that are behind it. We're going to try and get
Yeah.
behind it. Like say,
Yeah,
Tyler's.
Grip House is behind it in Scotland.
Yeah, of course it is,
Yeah,
with Matt
Maddie
Chuggy
Mitchell.
and all that lot.
Maddie Mitchell, Maddie the baddie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
she
A
does
couple of
it.
my friends have got it, and he still gets bullied. I bet he is getting bullied today because, like, for like 4 days now, he's just joined our school, and he gets bullied. And I try and stick up for him sometimes, but I don't really want to fight people every day. So what I've done is I've told a teacher, and they're looking out for
It's the
him.
best thing to do. Everyone says.
well done.
Yeah.
Tyler, that's brilliant.
Everybody
isn't it?
says don't grass on your mates and everything else, but when somebody's getting hurt,
No.
first thing you do is open your mouth.
Yes.
Doesn't matter who it's to. Rather open your mouth than punch somebody in the face.
Yeah, Tyler, that's good. I'm glad you mentioned that. So, Tyler, what's your next fight? When and where? Do you know?
July in Luton.
26th of May, Monaco Ballroom.
That's 26th of May. Monaco Ballroom has just been announced. That's fantastic. Why did that happen? Wow.
I know,
So-
contract's coming soon, I think. Good lad.
Right. So, I mean, we both again we had a little chat, didn't we?
Yeah,
before?
definitely, definitely.
I think it's Amir Subrick, who we both know, who's
Yeah.
doing great things down in. Is it London? Is he based down in London?
Yeah, he's got Storm Gym in Luton, and him and his partner Hayden. Oh, it's just amazing what they've done. I'm not even joking. You said you was into the days of Bruce Lee, but to me, this guy has done what Bruce Lee tried to do. He's opened the gates to China, and he literally has, for professional, amateurs, and even the juniors coming up now. I'm looking at that little boy, and I just see 5 years' time his name plastered all over China. I mean, that's going to kill it, and his own in China, isn't it?
Well, I've been to China, right, and I wasn't commentating or any fights or anything. I went to China, and I'm serious, and I couldn't go 10 feet.
I bet.
Because every single Chinese person has pretty much got the same hair. Obviously. So when you
Exactly.
see something different, even somebody's got blonde hair or somebody's just slightly different looking, they're fascinated.
Exactly.
And they're just. I have never, and this is not an ego thing at all, honestly. Because I get people. I walk down the streets of Bolton, and people go, "Look at that idiot! What have you done to your head?" You know what I mean? I get negatives as well. Do you know what I mean? Trust me, I don't do it for ego.
Well, they're
I don't
crazy
do it-
then, aren't they?
The thing is, you've got to remember. I always say this to people. I get asked this. I've been asked a very intelligent question once, and somebody said, "Sandy, serious. On a serious note, why do you do that with your hair?" And I thought, because it wasn't the normal everyday question, and my answer was simple. I said, "Because I can."
Yeah.
I said, and because I want to, and I didn't mean it in an arrogant way. I didn't say it cockily. I said just because I want to. I said, do you honestly, I haven't really thought why I actually do it. There's no real reason. As in, I must have my hair like this. I must stand out. I must be different. I don't do it for that. It's not for attention. Somebody said, "Your attention seeking, this, that, the other." You know what names people call
Yeah.
people. It's funny. The thing is, one of a real good friend of mine who's dead straight with me, and he'll tell me when I'm wrong or when I'm right. And we all need that, don't we? And he said to me, he said, "Andy, you know what I like about you? I don't swear, right? Not
Yeah.
in public anyway." He said to me, "You know what I like about you?" He says, "You don't give a beep what people think about you, do you?" And I went, "Well, I do, Of course I do. I actually do give a damn. I really do. I don't like people not liking you.
No.
Of course, no one likes. If I said, if I hate you, you'd be like, oh, wow, what have I done? What's wrong? You want to, you want people to like you. It's human nature. The three things that the humans need, okay, in the capacity of a human being is, okay, we want to be loved.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want to be recognised, or at least, accepted in society. All right, and we want a purpose.
Yeah.
It's human nature. And, I know some people actually don't give a damn about what people think, but I actually do. And I just feel, for me, that, I think, if somebody doesn't like me, that is their problem.
Yeah.
But if they spent half an hour with me, they might change their
That's
mind.
exactly
And I would
what it
give them
is.
half an hour. I'd give them an hour.
Yeah.
I would give them a time. And time is a commodity that we can't afford to give usually. But anyway, it's not about me. Let's talk
To
about...
be fair though, Sandy, your hair and it is who you are. It is for this little man. He gets it all the time.
It's about who you are,
And-
not about your hair.
Exactly. I mean, we went over to Italy and he had the same haircut, only this time he had 2 Union Jacks plastered to the side of his head.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send you some pictures.
Yes. Boom,
But
Tyler.
yeah, we went over there. I mean, it was popular, wasn't it? We had people stopping us in Pisa, random people just to take pictures with
Photographs,
him and
good
everything.
man.
And then, the
Some
other
people-
competitors didn't really like it.
They call me English pig.
They called you an English pig, didn't they?
Yeah, but what a top English pig he is.
Yeah.
The best. Look, see everything. Look, we should know where we're from.
Exactly.
And it's flying the flag, young man. I like you even more. What a guy. What
Well,
a
it's just
legend.
like the British Empire. We haven't gone. We just
We
stayed
haven't
in Britain. We're built again.
Good
And
man.
now in the martial arts scene, the world's about to find out what the British Empire's about because we can fight legally now
Yes.
on shows and do it the right way, can't we, little man?
Oh, brilliant, Tyler. So you're fighting in July. Do you know who you're fighting?
I don't know who I'm fighting yet, but I do know it's like someone from Europe.
So
Yeah.
somebody, all right. So you're not fighting somebody from the UK. You're actually fighting some. Right. Wow. And is this for a title or?
It hasn't been confirmed yet, but we don't mind. Yeah, it hasn't been confirmed yet.
Watching.
More Aiden.
Moeden, right.
But yeah, it's Amateur Kings 5 in Luton. This is the 5th show, and it's about to get massive. They're getting the biggest names in the junior scenes coming over now, like Jodie McCarthy. If you've never heard of that little girl, she's just how old? 11. She's already signing for the UFC. You got Joe Rogan talking about her on his
Serious?
pod. Yeah,
Wow.
It's massive.
Wow, and Joe Rogan, I mean, that's the biggest podcast in the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd love to go on there. Joe, are you watching? Yeah, I'll come on there. Can I bring
It
these
might
in
be.
with me, please?
Yeah, I'm coming, Joe. You can't do it without me. Or Tyler, can we? But yeah, it's just massive. We did get a confirmation that he is going to be matched on the show. There's not much in the UK of his standard in that they can match him with in the K1. So they've gone more afield in the European sector, which hopefully should be a belt because he's lost a bit of heart with the belts now because he's been claiming
I
loads.
was just going to say, sometimes, it's not about the belts, is it? It's about the, some people just go belt hunting all the time, and I just think, it's good, but I think when you've run out of space now, haven't you, really? Because after that photograph, if you put one more, it'll fall on the floor.
Well, he's got them all. He's got them all intercontinental world.
Wins now, isn't it? And you can still pick some more titles up along the way.
And
can't
some
you?
people at school are like, whoa, you got belts. I'm like, if it's not about the belts, it's about what I've achieved to get the belts. And then they're like, well, why have you got a belt then? I'm like, well, because to prove to people that I have actually got it.
You've achieved it. Oh, great answer that, Tyler. That's brilliant.
But the
Wow.
belts on AK5, what are they like?
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's it. He's
AK5,
got
what's that?
Amateur Kings 5. Sorry,
That's what you're talking about,
the
yeah.
show in Luton that'll be on the 15th of July.
Right.
And they I think they sanctioned under WKO now. But the belts are absolutely amazing, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you have TV coverage?
I think they do. Yeah. I think it's Fight Night Live TV. I think so. With Delman, I think it is.
Delman, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I can't be 100% on that, but I think I've
Ask him if
seen
you need a
them.
commentator.
They would. I don't
I'd love
think
to
they'll.
go on that.
I don't think they'll deny Sandy Holt coming
Oh,
there
Tim, I think
commentating.
I've paid him 50 quid to say these nice things.
You haven't paid me yet, though.
Oh, yeah, make it 100. Right, so we've only got a couple of minutes left, and I want to touch on some of the. I mean, we've pretty much covered a lot of things today. It's been brilliant.
Do you mind if I just say a few words? There's a guy out there that needs a bit of recognition for this today.
100%.
Just a big shout out for a man named Tom Ash, who's no longer with us, from King Tigers in Weymouth. What a man! Which you've met yourself, Sandy. You can back that up. He sadly passed a couple of years ago, and the fighters that he had are some of the best we've ever seen. One of them's Tyler's hero. Do you want to tell him who that is?
Darren Anstey.
Darren Anstey. Yeah, he actually had. He was fighting on Yakao the weekend, didn't he? And he finished his opponent in the first round with a massive elbow.
Wow.
He's fighting on Amir show as well on SFS. And but there's one guy. His name is Lee Andrew Grimrod. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Lee.
Happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Lee.
He looks like the Spartan King, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But he's such a nice bloke. I don't know if you remember, there was a thing like viral with this young kid that got beat up by several people, and the video was online, and it wasn't far from his gym. So he hunted the kid down, and he gave him a full year's free of training just to bring his confidence back up, because he knows about what it's like to be attacked and things like that. And he's involved with something with an organisation called Dorset Abilities, and it's about mental health and all kinds of disabilities, and what he has done with them people, it's amazing. It's just amazing. It's like something like yourself, a fight for autism, but he really went off his own back and did it, and he's changing a lot of people's lives. I don't think he really knows what he's doing, does he? But well done, Lee Andrew Grimrod. Good stuff, mate.
So well done, Lee. Guys, this is, these people are the unsung heroes of the world, aren't they?
Definitely.
It's all right, these people getting these OBEs and the MBEs for stuff, but, I think, there's a lot of people that people don't realise that how much work they actually do, and the recognition. I mean, they don't crave the recognition, but it's nice to, for someone to just like yourself to give them a shout out and to be, to be appreciated. Like you said, Tom Ash, I remember doing a seminar for him about 10, 12 years ago.
He's amazing,
He
man.
passed away a couple of years ago. God rest his soul. God bless him.
Yeah.
And it's nice for you to give him that recognition.
I think he deserves it. The man was a legend, and he now has the under-12s Yakao Fighter of the Year, which is the most prestige award that any young kid can get under 12 in Muay Thai. And he now has an award named after him, doesn't he? So we're going to try and win that one day, aren't we?
Yeah.
So we've got literally 1 minute left. I'm going to leave the last minute for Tyler to say a few words about if you'd like to say thank you or hello to anyone, or is there anything you'd like to say, Tyler?
Like my dad said, that there's some people like they don't know what they're doing for others, but like my friends, teachers, I admire them, because my friends, like, they help me, like, when I do something wrong, they'll tell me, or if I'm, like, in my learning, if I'm struggling, they'll help me. And teachers, they help, so shout out to them.
Oh, brilliant. And have you got a best friend that you like to say hello to? Is he watching? Or is
Riley.
he in school? Should be in school.
Riley, and I would also like to thank Pete Spenceley.
Who's he? Tell him who he is.
He's
promoter for Yakao kids.
yeah, he's
Pete
promoter.
Spencer, he's running he used to run the Sandy Championships, didn't
Yeah.
he? Yes, I've been to a few of those, and I mean they're big, massive, like 3 rings, isn't there? And he
Yeah.
goes,
Well, it's bigger now. It's bigger now. It's up to
yeah.
5 rings, and the shows are. There's something like the exposure for these little kids. It's amazing. So thank you, Pete and family. Oosh.
Well, guys, we're going to finish off there. I just want to thank the guests. Absolutely fantastic. I want to thank Peter, Tyler's dad. Tyler, you've been okay. Well, this is only the 2nd show, but you're my favourite guest. Let's keep it that way for the whole season. All right, you've been amazing, and I hope. Okay, well, you never know. We might get you on the 26th of May, but we'll talk afterwards. And no matter where you fight, no matter where you go, don't change, because you've got a great, brilliant attitude. Okay, you're very, very, very relaxed, but yet confident, and you know what? That'll get you everywhere. You've done so well, and you've done your dad proud, and your family proud, and your gym. So keep doing what you're doing, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Andy.
Thank you very much, young man. Shake my hand. Thank you very much, Dad.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gaz. Thank you, and we'll have you in a little bit. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
So it's a wrap, and a big fat oosh.
Oosh. I've been dying to do that.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with Sandy's Bash Blog 2, Part 2. 2nd edition. We have a new guest in the studios, and we are welcoming today Mr. Gaz Collins. Okay, Gaz, how are we doing?
I'm all right, Sandy. How are you?
Very well, sir. Glad to
Good
have you on
stuff.
board.
Good to be here.
Right, Gaz, we've got quite a lot of things to cover, my friend. First of all, let's talk about your T-shirt that you're wearing, which is a big symbol right across the front there, saying "Fighting for Autism." Tell me a little bit about how that started.
Started off in Australia. believe it or not. As you know, I've just come back from Australia for spending 7 years there. And I was doing junior development fight shows over there called Siam Cup. And I decided to stop doing that and concentrate more on my gym and building a shop and everything else inside the gym. So while I was doing that, I then decided to do adult fight shows, right? And like I said, every time we done a fight show, we supported somebody, and it was always juniors that we supported. And like I said, I asked my wife who we could support, and she mentioned this autism. And same week, I actually got an email from Fighting for Autism, straight out of the blue, saying we'd like to support your show. So I developed a really good friendship with Christian Mitchell, the guy that actually founded Fighting for Autism over in Australia. And since then, we've just always constantly, just supported Fighting for Autism. And I thought, what a fantastic name for the show as well.
It is a fantastic name for a show. And, I mean, how long, was it 7 years you was in Australia?
Yes.
Right. And let me just tell you guys, in case you're wondering how this sort of thing's formed, I've been putting shows on since 1984. Gaz, as he's just said there, he's been away for 7 years in Australia. Gold Coast, I believe, yeah?
No, Sunshine Coast. So north of the Gold Coast.
Right, so it's not far from the Gold Coast.
North of
most
Brisbane.
People will know, won't they?
Gold Coast is south of Brisbane, Sunshine
Right.
Coast north.
You were right. So how far was you away from Brisbane then?
About 45-minute drive.
Oh, so it's pretty by Australian standards, that's close, isn't
It's
it?
next door.
Next door, there you go. Anyway, Gaz arrived back here, we got chatting, and he said, would you like to put on a show? And I said, why not? I only put one show a year on. And like I said in the previous podcast, was always done things for charity. Cancer always seems to get the most money, gets the lion's share, but there's so many other things. You know, mental health is such a massive spectrum, as you said. And, you know, when you said this Fighting for Autism, I've got like probably, you know, maybe a dozen people in my gym, adults and children with autism.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's something that's, as again, and part one of the podcast, we talked about, it brings two things. You know, it's fear of the unknown for people, and that causes either conflict or avoidance. So it needs addressing big time. And I think by putting on shows like this, you know, just the word what you've come up with, or whoever's invented that, and obviously you're wearing the t-shirt, Fighting for Autism is such a great name. It's very powerful, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was founded by, like I said, Christian Mitchell, because of his son. His son is severely autistic, but he's always had his kids in martial arts, always been in Muay Thai and everything else. And he just found that kids and adults alike that get into, it doesn't matter what sport it is, you know, it could be rowing, it could be sprinting, it could be Thai boxing, it could be jiu-jitsu, it could be boxing, it could be anything. But when somebody with autism sets their mind to doing something, you can't stop them. They're absolutely amazing. It's like what Tyler's daddy said earlier on, you know, about your eldest son. He suffers with autism as well.
Yeah.
And when he was fantastic at football, but the following day he fell out of love with it.
Yeah.
It happens just like that. Honest to God, the first time we supported Fighting for Autism, we'd done a show like nobody had seen in Australia before. And what we'd done, we'd hired out this big hall, and we had bouncy castle there, we had reptile farms, we had photograph studio there, because some families that suffer with autism on a daily basis, they can't get family portraits or anything.
Yeah.
So we done that for free. We put a photographer on, and we put a colouring station on. All it is, big desk with loads of colours and everything on it, and that was the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can
What a great
imagine.
idea.
It was unbelievable.
I can imagine
It's
that,
a shame we can't do things on that scale over here in the UK. You know, it's we're just talking there about the population mass. You know, 65 million people here. You've probably not even got 30 million in Australia yet. The land mass, you could fit 33 of the UK's in Australia. You know, we just haven't got the space over here. You know, it's such a shame. But, you know, we have got the resources here. That's the one thing about the UK we do. And we do back things. Once we get behind something, that, you know, the Brits are, I just feel the Brits are very slow on the uptake to get things. But once they've got it, once they get a good grip of something.
Well, that's it. But the
know.
good thing about it over here is it's so condensed over here. You know, you can go to Rochdale, there's like 6-7 gyms there. You can go to Warrington, there's 6-7 gyms there. You can go to Leeds, there's the same.
Well, that's the same here in Bolton.
You
It's
know,
like,
it's-
you know,
yeah, same in Bolton.
There's 5 or 6 Thai boxing gyms. It's,
When I left England,
very
Same in
popular.
Sheffield too.
Yeah, same Sheffield.
Yeah.
when I left England, obviously I used to live and train at Neil's gym in Warrington, and when I left England, there was Neil's gym and there was Dave Jackson's gym. That was 7 years ago. I come back, now you've got Darren Collins, you've got Matt Bonner, you've got Scott Dixon, Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah,
Just stayed in
came
7
in
years.
came in picking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so that's 8 gyms.
Yeah, he's got
Wow.
a gym. He's got a gym in Wellington as well.
That's
And
mad.
I come
Yeah,
back
it
and
has.
it's just
Like you said,
boom, it's
the
exploded.
growth, the expansion growth has been amazing, hasn't it? And this is what we want to capitalise on. I mean, we're putting a show on the 26th of May. It's at Monaco Ballroom. You know, I think I've always said 2 heads are better than 1.
Yes.
And I think, we've come together to do this show. It's our first show together, guys, and I think, we're both looking hard to get things. We've obviously had a couple of setbacks. We're looking for a security firm, anybody. We're looking for a security firm because we've just been let down. We've just managed to secure the medicals and stuff, which we're having a problem with that. Everybody, a lot of people don't realise, to put a Thai boxing show on, they cost thousands of pounds and it's thousands of man hours.
Yes.
I got a message this morning, he's sent me a message this long with the gyms he's contacted, and working. I was up till 4 o'clock the other night sending messages out to people, trying to get fighters for this show. And I've said this all along. Like I said, my first show was '84. I think that's the year you was born.
Oh yeah.
I was -4 at the time, and they don't get any easier.
No.
They're hard, and any help we can get is much appreciated. So if there's any gyms out there watching, come get hold of us, Gaz. If someone wants to contact you, Gaz, how could they get hold of you?
The best way is phone number. Yeah,
Are you happy to give that out?
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
So go on, let's sing Gaz's phone number out. Are we all ready for this?
Yeah, 07414
07414
777
777
113.
113. So again, guys, if you want to contact Gaz, get on his mobile. And everybody, I think, can contact me via Facebook or my telephone, and most people have got it. This is not a massive plug thing, but we are looking for fighters. Like we said, we're just less than 4 weeks out, so we've got plenty of time for fighters to still jump on board. The good thing about this show, guys, is that we're covering all areas because we've got children on, like Tyler,
Yes.
who's been sat there nice and quiet this whole time.
With this bill.
And I'm going to bring Tyler in a second. We've got children on, we've got men, women and children,
Yeah.
haven't we? It's a 2-part show. We've got
Yes.
kids in the first half.
Well, we've got one female fight. We're looking for a 55 kilo fighter for one of your girls, Rebecca. So
What standard are you looking for?
Just look at N class and C.
N
N
class, C class. Yeah, Rebecca's had about 10 intercamps. She's had no fights experience at all, just intercamps.
Right.
She's never gone
Adults, of course.
that step further, really. So we're looking for a girl to match her. Mid 20s or 20 up, really.
I might know someone.
So if you know
I'll
somebody,
get back
that'd
to
be
you. Yeah.
fantastic. Yes.
Thank you very much. Right, sorry, you were saying, Gaz, yeah?
Yes. So what we're trying to do with fighting for autism in the UK, that's why I came and seen you when I first landed in England, was because it's already a registered charity in Australia, and Tyler's dad, he's been in touch with Brian Higginbotham. He runs Fighting for Autism USA. Okay. Now there's a guy called Paul Greeny, and he's going to start running Fighting for Autism UK. It's not been set up yet, and this is what we're trying to do. So this is the
Brilliant.
reasons for these fight shows, is to raise awareness, to help set up this charity, and basically get things
Let's
off
just
the
pick up on
ground.
that point for a second. Like I said, Tyler, I've not forgot you. It's not a charity. So with this is a thin line here. As we say to people, we're doing this charity show. It is a charity because it's already been established, as you said.
Yes.
But we're bringing awareness to it, first of all. So we're basically, everything's about this. You can see, you can read the top. We're trying to then, obviously, when it is registered as a charity, we can then obviously then start to donate the money. But I've already actually been given. This is one of my Thai boxing students called Rabia. Thank you, Rabia, by the way. She came to me last night in my class and she said, "Where can I donate?" And I said, "To what?" She went, "To Fighting for Autism. I've got an autistic son." And I went, "Right." She said, "But I can't make the show. I'm away."
Oh.
I said, because I was going to say, just buy a ticket, come to the show and support it,
Yes.
and talk about it. She went, "I can't, I'm sorry." So she donated £50. She said, "Well, put it to the charity." And this is why I was saying that, that money obviously will have to go in, maybe we can put it aside or whatever. But I've already been given £50 just off the back like that. She just got it straight up. I said, "Oh, you don't need to do it." She went, "No, it's a big thing for me."
Yes.
She said, "Put that in." So when the charity is set up, there's £50
Yeah.
waiting to go in there. But for the most part for us now, what we're trying to do is because it's your idea to do this, and it's fantastic, Gaz, thank you, is we're setting the platform basically,
Yes.
aren't we? For then the charity then to kick in and then
Yeah.
we can...
Well, like I said to you earlier, when you was interviewing Tyler, is a lot of people are scared of autism because they don't know what it is. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are getting bullied, whether it's at work or whether it's at school or anything else. They're getting bullied. You know, Tyler's already said he's stood up for his mate a few times, and it's, you know, it's commendable. Hat off to little lad. You know what I mean? But what we want to do is basically go round to Muay Thai gyms, you know, jiu-jitsu, BJJ, whatever. Doesn't really matter.
It's martial arts.
Yeah, martial arts basically, and basically help set out a platform for autism sessions. So autism-friendly sessions, so the families can take the kids and they can join in and everything else. And so the families are spending time with the kids and actually integrating themselves, you know, and learning what their kids are actually doing and vice versa. Yeah. You know, because a lot of people with autism have massive trust issues. Whether it's with mum and dad or whatever, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They could love you one minute, they'll hate you the next. You know, but the thing is when they hate you, they'll do that for years. And then one day they'll wake up, flick the fingers, hey, love you, Dad.
As if nothing happened.
Is it? Yeah, exactly.
You've been to my house before.
So yeah, we want to do this with martial arts schools, as well as schools. So comprehensive schools, everything else. So like I said, in the schools, people are afraid of what's different.
Yes.
Autism is very different, and because of that, unfortunately, a lot of kids with autism get bullied because people that bully the kids don't understand it
themselves.
And
it's about
that's
education,
what we
isn't
want
it?
to do.
I mean, bullying, you know, I think we've always got a story to tell. But a lot of people know mine already in Bolton. If people know it, you know, I was bullied at school for like 3.5 years. And I wasn't bullied because I had autism. I had bullied because I had red hair, I had ginger hair, I had freckles, which I've still got somewhere. I was the smallest and the youngest, so that was enough. So basically, I was beaten up on a daily basis for 3.5 years. So much so, I left school a year early. I never told my parents. And they read about me on the front page of the Bolton Evening News. So thank you, Bolton News, because you've supported me well over the years. I'm on the front page of Bolton News in full colour doing this jumping kick. Got 3 Thai boxing belts. Sorry, the first Thai boxing belt. And it reads, Sandy Holt, I worked at Warburton's then, this very massive big local company. It was very kind to me for my first ever job. I started work at 15. I was only 15 years old and just over a week, and I was working. And like I said, I got out of school. I paid £10 to get out of school. You had to pay it for some registration fee. It went up to 16 that year, by the way. Don't ask me what year. And anyway, started work at 15, very young age to start. But because I didn't even get any exams. I did my mocks. I never even got the results. I left school for the summer. My birthday's 26th of July, which is around the school holidays. So I basically broke up on the Friday, never went back. But I didn't tell my parents why. And literally 10 years later, at the age of 25, my first British Thai boxing belt round my waist, doing this kick in the paper, and it says Warburton's bread bakery son boy something wins Thai boxing title, bullied at school for 3.5 years, blah blah blah, and told about the bullying. I didn't realise when they was interviewing me that would be mentioned. So 10 years later from leaving school, my mum and dad find out. Never told them I was bullied at school. There was a reason why I never told them I was bullied at school, because I was threatened on a daily basis. If I told the teachers, I told the parents, they would do double the damage. And I remember just once half telling a school teacher I'd been hit because I had a mark on my face. I said, "Oh, the bully," and they just doubly battered me at dinner time. Yeah. So it scared me even more. And I once said, "I'm just going to tell my parents," and they went, "You tell your parents, okay? We'll kill you." You know what I mean? They threatened. On the last day of school, they threatened to drown me in the baths. They brought rope into school. This is true story. They brought rope in and they was going to tie me to a chair and put me and drown me in the swimming pool.
That's crazy.
And for what? Because I was small, ginger, and had freckles.
Yeah, they wouldn't do it now though, Sandy, would they?
That's another story. We'll talk about that again. So anyway, enough about me. I keep talking. It's not about me today. It's about you guys. So with the bullying thing's a massive thing. It'd be great if we can get this out there, because like I said, autism is such a broad spectrum. Quoting your words, true to what you're saying.
What I've noticed with my son, it's the awareness to the teachers as well. They don't really know what autism is.
They don't get trained on it.
No, that's right.
You know what I mean? So they're ignorant to the facts.
Exactly.
Right? And then you've got, I nearly swore then about women getting the,
yeah,
you know, adults, parents, whatever, getting annoyed. Yeah, we'll change that word to annoyed.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
What we'll do is
I'll do the beeps.
Yeah, because they're not trained on it. Obviously, budgets won't allow.
Well, it's just the spectrum is so wide.
It's massive.
It's how can you put them into place?
Huge.
You know,
people like to be touched. To be known that they're there. Other people can't stand you touching them. Other people have to be shown everything. Where you show somebody with autism something once, and they'll be teaching you next on how to do it. You know, there's loads. the spectrum is huge. There's a guy down in, I think it's in London, yeah? He's a hairdresser, and he shuts his shop at the weekend, right? Every Sunday, 2 Sundays a month, I think it is. Shuts his shop, right? And has kids with that suffer with autism and everything in there, right? And he chases them around the shop, literally chases them around the shop, trying to cut the hair because they won't sit still or anything. The guy is absolutely fantastic, and he does it for free.
Yeah,
all of his own time. Gives his Sundays up twice a month just to cut hair for kids and that suffer with autism. It's absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's just the work you've done. It's grown from the UK to America. I mean,
Yeah.
I know the
It's
work
not
you've
set
done.
over here. Like I said, Paul Greeny, he's the guy that's going to be running the show and everything over here. And he's actually asked me, me and my wife, if we'll come on board now and be trustees for Fighting for Autism as well.
Wow.
So, which is absolutely fantastic.
If you need anyone, a little front man to do it.
Just want to put that belt up for us, Tal, in front of the camera, please, and show everybody what. Yeah.
Hi.
Have a look on this one here, and then we'll have a look on that one there. So we've 2 cameras running. We've got live, and then we've got Josh, our fabulous techie guy, who's doing all the work here with the camera, doing a great job. Josh, thank you, sir. So would you like to fight for one of those belts? I know we talked about belts before. We said you're not a belt chaser, but would you fight for one of them at some point, do you think?
Of course.
2 words.
That belt
Of
means
course.
something, though, doesn't it? Eh?
He's been chasing that ever since I walked in here.
Well, it's so Tyler, you've had a listen to. Have you got any friends at school who've got? I know obviously your brother has. Is there anybody at school who's got autism? Do you know? In your
I'd
class?
say about 3 in my class,
Is
but
there?
I don't know about the whole school. But
Yeah.
and my sister's little friend, he's got autism.
He's got it really bad, hasn't he, Ashton?
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned about the schools, because they've said no, there's nothing wrong with him, but it's quite.
It's easier to be ignorant.
Yeah.
Honest
There's
to
the
God.
one, isn't it? Easy to be ignorant.
Yeah.
Well, guys, again, the half an hour's raced by. These shows aren't. We need to ask Josh, or we need to ask our fabulous horse here at Bolton FM if we can make these shows longer, because time just goes so quickly. And you know what? It's been a really good day. I've had 3 great guests in here today. I couldn't do it without these guys. First of all, let's just say a big, massive thank you to Tyler. So, round of applause for Tyler, please, guys. Absolutely outstanding
legend.
young man. Give me a big oosh.
Whoosh!
Okay, to his dad. Okay, Peter, thank you for contacting me, sir.
Yeah, thank you,
Absolute
Sandy.
legend,
It's
thank
been an
you.
honour to meet you, sir.
Oh,
It really
to
has.
meet you.
It
To
really
meet you,
has.
serious. I said to eat you.
To eat.
To meet you, yeah. Honestly, it's been great. And Gaz, okay, again, we're just last words from you, mate, just about the show. Anything you want to say? Thank you for coming in today, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much, Barry.
We're as a great team. Last words from you.
Yeah, well, as you know, the show is 26th of May at the Rose Club, the old Monaco Ballroom, which is now being changed back to the Monaco Ballroom because it sounds better. That's the only reason why they're changing it back, because it sounds better. So, yeah, 26th of May. Hopefully we'll be kicking off around, doors open around 3.
Doors open at 3, starts at 4.
Starts at
doesn't
4.
It? Yeah, kicks off at 4.
Yeah, hopefully
Kicks off.
we've got half the card matched at the moment, so we could do with another 15 fights.
So you've
Hopefully.
just got the list here for me, yeah?
Yes.
So, I know you can't see that, guys, but this is what we've got matched at the moment. We're looking to match quite a few more, because we have like I said, it's going to be like a 2-part show, first half, second half. And
Juniors 1 half, adults next.
perfect.
So UK gyms, get in touch with Gaz
Yep, or Sandy.
or Sandy
Thank
or
you.
me, and I'll pass you on.
That'll do. So, guys, well, it's been a wrap, so we'll finish off with a big fat
Oosh!
well done, guys.